Scarlet Gun, 1961 Nikkatsu film, Keiichiro Akaggi's last film. First of all, I would like to say that, as the theme suggests, this film was the last film for Keiichiro Akaggi, who was 21 years old at the time. During a lunch break during the filming of the next film, A Man Living in the Rising Current, he was riding a go-kart that he had been allowed to test drive for promotional purposes. He accidentally stepped on the accelerator instead of the brake, hit an iron door at a film studio in Chofu, and died of a fractured skull. It was a truly unfortunate short life for someone who was expected to be the next Yujiro. With my condolences, I will now begin my explanation. Kodera Shinsuke Ishida and Ishioka Goro Terumi served in the same army during World War II, so Kodera knew that Ishioka's pistol skills were the best in his unit. Due to this connection, Kodera, who entered the world of the Yakuza, asked Ishioka to kill someone personally, because if he used the organization to kill someone, it would be revealed that he gave the order. Ishioka had done this kind of work before, but he was shot in his right hand, which he now cannot use, so he told Ishioka to find someone skilled and leave it to him. Kodera gave Ishioka some money for living expenses for the time being, and promised to give him another if he found a candidate. Kodera told Ishioka that there was a skilled man that Ishioka had killed 2 years ago, and ordered him to find someone like that. This is a bar at night. Ishioka came here to look for a man who looked lazy and sloppy, but who looked skilled. However, all the men here looked happy, and Ishioka thought that they were all men who didn't want to do anything and couldn't do anything, so he was about to leave. But there was one man, Nakata Akaggi, Keiichiro, who had the look in his eyes that Ishioka had been expecting. It seemed that Ishioka thought that his eyes were telling him that he was lazy. When Ishioka approached him and asked him about his occupation, Ishioka could tell that he was a lazy man who was unemployed and had no money, and was thinking about whether he would be arrested by the police because he couldn't even pay for the drinks he drank here, or whether he would work here to pay for them. And Ishioka thought that he was the right person for the job. When Nakata asked him what he wanted to ask of him, he clearly said that it was to kill someone. Ishioka replied that he would tell him where he was from at the right time, and that he wouldn't know who it was until the time came, or that he might never know until the end. Nakata agreed and shook hands to signify that they had made a deal. As he was about to leave, Mikino Mari Shiraki, a woman working at the bar, approached him, saying that she wanted him to stay for a while and that she felt like she was going to be killed. Two men, Genkeisuke Noro and Tatsuaki Yoshifuki, seemed to have business with Mikino. Mikino seemed to have some reason for being, so Nakata voluntarily called up taxi to help him, and when he was about to leave, the two men approached him, asking him to hand over the woman. Nakata punched them, and they collapsed. When Nakata returned to Makino's apartment, Mikino said she was scared and wanted him to stay with them all day, but it turned out that Mikino is the woman of the boss of the Kobe underworld. The reason she was being targeted was because she knew the boss's secret and had fled from Kobe to Tokyo. Starting today, under Ishioka's guidance, Nakata will be carefully taught how to use a handgun as an assassin. For now, the content is just basic things like the difference between the name and its role. He explains with an example that automatic types seem convenient, but the bullets can jam and make it unusable, but rotary types do not do that, so they are safe. The example is of a man named Nakajima who had a good hand, but the bullets jammed and his pistol became unusable, and he was killed. Nakata's eyes became sharper when Ishioka told the story, but it is unclear whether this is because it actually happened or if he had some other intention. As the conversation shifted, Ishioka showed Nakata a commemorative photo of Kodera, a former company commander, Ishioka, and Nakajima taken in the army. Nakata commented that Nakajima was a rather thin man, and pointed to Kodera, asking who he was. From this conversation, we can see that Nakata has some attachments to this photo. Next, he learned how to use a real gun. Of course, we won't be using live ammunition today. Point the muzzle of the pistol down, and rotate the cylinder with your fingertips to check if there are any bullets. Next, extend your right arm and push the gun forward as far as possible. Place your index finger fully on the trigger. Take a deep breath, hold it for a moment, and pull the trigger. Stabilize your hips, and keep them steady as if they were growing on the ground. Next, practice shooting in time with the movement of Ishioka's hand. As they were talking, it was tea time, and a woman in a kimono, Kikuayo, Sasamori Reiko, brought tea and cake. Kikuayo has beautiful eyes, but it turns out that she is blind. Apparently, she suddenly lost her sight when she was in her first year of high school. Nakata is fascinated by her beautiful eyes. He is also amazed that such a quiet sister has such an older brother who trains assassins. At this point, Kikuayo does not know what kind of work her brother and Nakata do together, and simply says that it must be a tough job. Ishioka gradually teaches him difficult movements, how to shoot differently depending on whether the enemy is one or many, and how to respond when the enemy asks you to hand over your gun. Today, Ishioka came to Kodera's office to tell Kodera that Nakata's skills have improved, and Kodera says that he would like to see the face of the man he hired. Ishioka says that it would be better if they did not know each other's faces, but Kodera insists that since he is paying a high price, it would be better to see his face. Ishioka tells him that a person with such talent comes along once every 10 years, and that it would be fine if he waited until his skills improved a bit more, so please wait. Saying his name is Nakata Katsumi, Kodera hands Ishioka another stack of bills. This is Tokyo University Hospital for Ophthalmology, where they performed a simple eye examination on Kikuayo. Dr. Komodo Kiyoshi of Kobe University informs Ishioka that Dr. Isajima Homamura-jun has published successful clinical trials, so it would be best to have him take a look. Nakata seems to be more worried about Kikuayo's eyes than his brother. But what does this mean? A man who was asked to kill someone has a strong desire to help the sister of the man who asked him to see. On the way back from the hospital, Kyoko says that the first thing she wants to see when her eyes heal is Nakata's face. She says happily that she's sure Nakata is just like she thought he was, and that he must be a wonderful person. Today, in the woods, we're training by marking the heart of a paper human-shaped doll with a triple circle mark, hanging it from a tree, and firing a bullet at the heart of the doll as it moves sideways. Even though it's the first time, all of the bullets hit the heart. Ishioka told Nakata that he had never used a handgun before. But is that really true? Nakata can't help but exclaim in surprise that Ishioka seems like the kind of person born to fire a handgun. What is his occupation? As expected, Kodera was hiding in the shadow of a tree and watching. He must have been surprised. However, Nakata shoots at the cigarette Kodera is smoking, hitting his target. He says something meaningful like, "I don't want to just stand there and watch, so I went to say hello to the company commander." Kodera runs off. Nakata now realizes that Kodera is Ishioka's boss, and that the two people in the commemorative photograph of the three and the army are completely involved in this murder. Here Ishioka again at Kodera's office. As a preliminary step, Kodera receives a request from Kobe to kill a woman, and Kodera shows the photo to Ishioka. The woman was none other than Makino Chikako, the woman whom Nakata had met for the first time at the bar and who had said someone was going to kill her. Come to think of it, she had told Nakata that she was the woman of the boss in Kobe. Today, at the same bar, Ishioka and Nakata have a preliminary discussion regarding Makino Chikako. Ishioka tells Nakata that Kodera had asked him to kill a woman named Makino. Nakata tells Ishioka that he is reluctant to kill a woman, as she is a woman, and that he is reluctant to kill a woman he had helped before, but that is inevitable. Ishioka tells Nakata, who is reluctant, that the next one is the real one, and that the next one is a gamble, as it is the boss of Kobe, this woman. Ishioka prefaces this by saying that it would be better if he didn't say it, and tells him that the hitman who was killed before Nakata was hired was the boss of Kobe. Nakata's eyes change. There must be something to this. Ishioka tries to hand over the envelope containing the stack of bills that Kodera gave him, saying it was a promise. But Nakata says he doesn't need it and asks him to take Kikuayo to Kobe with this money to cure her eyes, expressing his feelings for her that he feels more for her than a brother. Nakata then tells Ishioka not to worry, and that he has taken on the job of that woman. Nakata immediately goes to Makino's apartment alone. Makino, who doesn't know why he has come, says happily that she was waiting for him, knowing that she would surely come again, but the reason for his visit is to kill her. Nakata wraps his gun in a towel to reduce sound, aims it, and tells Makino, "I came to kill you in place of the two of them the other day, but I've got a job at a hitman's company, so it's too late now." Makino is shocked and turns pale. Nakata said he had taken on the job, but will he really do it? Nakata tells her to run away, but Makino doesn't seem scared at all, and says that if Makino is going to kill her, she feels like she doesn't mind dying. Nakata changes his mind and tells her to pack her belongings, run away with him, and hurry up. When Makino and Nakata try to go out through the entrance with some clothes, sure enough, Ishioka is watching from the shadow of a telephone pole near the entrance. Then, one more man came to the bar the other day, making a total of 3 men, to catch Makino and Nakata. However, as he was taught when he tried to hand over the gun, he turned the gun around and shot immediately, taking the gun from the 3 men, saying, "You're not good enough. I can't leave this woman with you guys. Don't worry, I'll take this woman to your boss in Kobe. Meet the boss and get her for a high price. You guys can make it in time to just get rid of her. But I'm going to make a deal," Nakata says. To Makino, "I'm sorry for deceiving you, but I'm only this kind of man, but I still don't know what Nakata really wants to do. Is it just a simple murder? Or where did he improve his gun skills in the past? There are still many questions for me." Nakata decides to have 3 men guide him to Kobe. When Ishioka tries to chase the 5 who are fleeing in a car, calling them Nakata, Nakata fires his gun and shoots Ishioka's head off. Ishioka tells Kodera about the incident last night and is furious, asking why Nakata did such a thing. "It's because you're not strong enough." He blames Ishioka for all the expensive money he's paid, but this is Nakata's scheme, so there are some parts that Ishioka can't touch. Kodera's ultimate goal is to defeat the boss of Kobe and join forces with Hong Kong, and he tells Ishioka his true feelings, asking if he can get away with being set up by foreigners around Kobe. Nakata then looks at my face once. "I wonder how my face will be discovered when I go to Kobe, and if that happens, I'll be the one to be eliminated." When Kodera asks if Nakata's identity has been confirmed, Ishioka remains silent. It's no wonder he's angry, as Ishioka only hired him on a hunch without even checking his identity. But Ishioka says he will take responsibility. He promises Kodera that he will go to Kobe and eliminate Nakata. This is the big mansion of Kobe's boss, Shunman Chang, Shoichi Ozawa. He keeps several big, ferocious dogs for defense. Nakata and Makino Chikako, who were made to wait in the room, are surrounded by Chinman Chang's minions, each with a gun, and both guns are wound up. Nakata says he wants to buy something from Chin, his gun skills. Nakata tells Chin that he wants to set this woman free, not for money, but as a negotiation. But Chin refuses, saying that he cannot do that because she is his beloved wife. Here I finally understand Nakata's intention. After all, he wanted to save Makino Chikako. Nakata asks him why he tried to kill his beloved wife, which he says contradictorily, and he answers that it was to keep a secret, and that if she keeps it with him, the secret will not be leaked. Chin orders his minion to show the customer to the room. It is a room like a storage shed. A car has arrived. Chen's younger brother, Chen Dalan, Kusanaji Keiichiro, came to report that he had killed Ryo Takujin, Ozawa Itaro in Hong Kong. His older brother Chen is overjoyed that the boss in their way is gone. Now the organization in Hong Kong will collapse, and all that's left is for you to take over Ryo and Takujin's route, says his younger brother. "I'll rule Hong Kong, and you'll rule Japan. Our dream of freeing the Asian market has come true," says Chen's older brother. By the way, it seems that a strange man has come in with Chikako, and he seems to be quite skilled with a gun, says his younger brother Chen. "We haven't figured out who he is yet, so we are just letting him go, but if he's useful, we'll try him out." Younger brother says that he'll try to see how good he is. Ishioka and Kokuyo arrive at Sanomiya Station, where the eye hospital is located, and when they are about to get in a taxi, the 3 servants appear and take them to Chen's house in a car they have prepared. The 2 are led to the room where Nakata is, and Kokuyo embraces him, saying, "It's Nakata-san." Ishioka explains that he came looking for her and was captured by his subordinates. Kokuyo gradually begins to imagine that they will be killed, but says that she doesn't mind dying as long as she is with Nakata-san. Makino Chikako comes to look into the room where Nakata is being held from outside. Chin comes and asks Chikako if he will help Nakata. However, in exchange for his help, he asks her to stay with him like before. What will happen with this problem? Chikako wants to be free and not be with Chin. However, if Chen wants freedom, he will kill Chikako. There is a way to save both of them, but it is for Chen to perish. How? In this movie, the police and prosecutors have not yet taken any action, from the beginning until now. That is, until Nakata is put in the room in the storage shed. Nakata has been working hard on his own to make this movie interesting. Nakata needs to solve the problem on his own, but that is never realistic, because there is no such Superman anywhere in the real world. Brother Chen makes it clear that Chikako likes Nakata and doesn't want to go back to Chen, so Chen calls his younger brother and gives the order to kill Nakata. Kikuayo, and Ishioka because they are an eyesore. The younger brother takes one of his subordinates, Jen, and drives Nakata alone to the beach in a car. However, a Hong Kong man named Kim Fujimura Arahiro follows them in a taxi. It is unclear who he is or what he is doing with them, but he seems to be a man of money. When they arrive, they find Kikuayo and their brother Ishioka quite a distance away. Brother Chin gives the gun back to Nakata, saying it is his, but there is only one bullet in it. The younger brother says that the three have been released, but as Nakata turns his back and walks towards Ishioka and sister, he shoots Nakata in the back. It is unclear whether he missed, but he missed. Ishioka, who has been watching this, tells his sister not to move and approaches Nakata to hand him the gun. However, Ishioka is not supposed to have a gun, but he has one hidden in the cover of his right arm, which he throws to Nakata, who uses it. Then Kim appears and says how good it is to kill Ryotakujin, shoots 3 men and they run away. Kim warns Nakata that it's dangerous to stay here forever, and that if the police come, they'll catch him, so it's better to get away quickly. But when Nakata asks who he is, Kim replies that he's a man who wants to buy Nakata's skills. This is an inpatient's room at Chisajima Eye Hospital before surgery. Kikuayo criticizes her brother for letting Nakata do bad work, saying that when she can see again, she'll take him and her brother somewhere they can't see, and for leaving it to Nakata. Nakata and Ishioka are sitting on a bench in the hospital talking. Ishioka gets the money he received from Kodera before coming to Kobe back, but Ishioka tells him that Ishioka came to Kobe because Kodera ordered him to kill Nakata, and that he came to have his sister's eye surgery. However, he explains that he was captured by Chin's henchmen in front of Sanomia Station. Nakata is surprised to hear that Ishioka had no choice but to kill Nakata by Kodera's orders, but Ishioka makes it clear that he cannot kill him. In this scene, Ishioka tells Nakata something he did not know until now, and Nakata also tells him something that Ishioka did not know at all, that Nakata was the one who planned to kill him. Nakata shows a photo of the 3 of them taken during the war and says that the man in the photo with Kodera and you is my older brother. My older brother was entrusted with the job of being the killer and ended up dying. The company commander, Kodera, gave the order to kill, and you were the one who killed my brother. This is another photo of a group, and we tracked down their location and found out the truth. That's why I've been looking for you for 2 years. I can't forgive you or Kodera, but I'll let you live a little longer to earn money for your sister's medical expenses. And then I heard Kim's voice asking, how much money do you want? Kim was looking for a strong man, and you wanted money. They decided to help each other out, so Kim asked Nakata to go to Osaka. He took Nakata to a room in a high-rise building in Osaka, and Kim told him to defeat Chin. Kim said that the boss of the boss who was killed by Chen's younger brother is still sleeping. In this room, Kim said that the boss who was killed was the real boss's double, the person who was replacing the boss, and that the person in the next room is the real boss. Now I finally understand. The real boss came out of the room in his nightgown. Suddenly, there was a phone call in this room, and it was a call from Tokyo saying that Kodera's subordinates were coming to support him. Nakata couldn't hide his surprise. However, the boss, Kodera, Chen, and everyone else are fighting for power, and they are just trying to become the boss of their group. Kodera immediately entered the room by himself. You all remember that Kodera is the person who ordered Ishioka to kill Nakata in Kobe. Kodera seems surprised to see Nakata in the room, but he doesn't show his true feelings. Of course, Nakata is the same. Kodera informs Ryotakujin that the young people are already waiting in Kobe, and Ryotakujin say that it looks like Kodera will be taking over all of Chen's power, which makes Kodera happy. Everyone is trying to expand their influence, but in the end, they are all only thinking about themselves. Kodera says that he sent this man to Kobe to kill Chen, but behind the scenes, he has ordered Ishioka to kill Nakata. He then asks Nakata why he didn't kill Chen sooner. Nakata replies that he was watching the situation because Nakata got the money back from Ishioka. Kodera tells Nakata not to say stupid things and hands him the money. Ryotakujin tell Erika to come out too, and the woman opens the door and comes in. When the woman makes eye contact with Nakata, who is sitting there, she is shocked. Nakata is the same. Erika, Yashiayuki Kazuko, was a woman who had feelings for Nakata in the past. Erika, Kikuayo, and Chikako were all people Nakata loved very much. The appearance of these women makes this movie even more interesting. Saying that they will carry out the plan at midnight tonight, Kim and Kodera leave. Ryotakujin pretend to take a shower when only Nakata and Erika are left, and leave the shower running to listen to their conversation. Ryotakujin want to get every little bit of information he can, as he has not yet found out what kind of man Nakata is. Nakata asks Erika that the money he has just received be delivered to the person in the hospital, giving the name of the hospital and the person's name. Nakata always acts with the happiness of others in mind, even before a life or death battle, so one would think that he is not a killer. Erika strongly pleads, "Don't die, don't die. It's not like you to kill someone." Here, Chen is playing mahjong with his henchmen at his house. He gets a phone call informing him that Kodera's henchmen are in Kobe. However, Chen remains calm. Then he hears the same ferocious dog barking, and it quickly disappears. The group is Kodera, Kim, Ryotakujin's henchman, and of course Nakata. Chen hands Chikako a pistol and tells her to shoot anyone who comes other than him. It is clear that Chen is outnumbered and at a disadvantage. As expected, Chen's situation worsens and he is told to drop his gun. He has no choice but to follow the orders of the group and Nakata. However, Nakata also tells Kim and Kodera to drop their guns, and they ask Nakata again because they don't understand why. They ask again, and Nakata says it's a planned action, and Nakata's bullets fly when Kim moves even a little. Kodera doesn't understand why Nakata, who he thought was his friend, suddenly points his gun at him. Nakata says he doesn't want to kill any of you and will hand you all over to the police, and Kodera finally seems to realize that he is a detective. That's right, Nakata is a detective. As soon as he says that he's worked hard to get here without being noticed and that if he is noticed, it's my loss. At the moment Chen's younger brother says that it's your loss and tries to shoot him from behind. This is a big pinch. His younger brother doesn't say something rude like throwing away his gun, and says that he'll lend him some if he doesn't have any bullets. Nakata thanks his brother for his kindness, letting him let his guard down before shooting at him and hitting the hand that was holding the gun. However, this is not the end. There are still people who have not yet shown their faces. It is Ryotakujin. He enters through the entrance, pointing his guns at Nakata. He says that Nakata has some impressive skills. Ryotakujin, who had heard that Nakata was a detective, say that it is a pity to kill him, but that a detective with no bullets left in his gun has no choice but to die. Nakata then uses leading questions, telling him that a police officer cannot solve this case alone and to look behind you, and Ryotakujin reflexively look behind them. At that moment, Nakata takes back their pistols. At that moment, as Nakata said, many police officers come to arrest him and they are all arrested. Nakata then runs around the room without a moment's hesitation, looking for someone. It is Chikako. What a wonderful person he is. So great. Nakata saw there was a scene of Chikako holding a gun and Chen lying on the ground. Chikako told Nakata that she had finally been able to grab freedom and kill Chen with the gun Chen had given her. This is the hospital. Kikuayo, who had removed the bandages from her eyes after the operation, is happy that she can see again and asks the people around her, "Where is Nakata?" and expresses her desire to see Nakata with her own eyes. Nakata is then walking with Ishioka in front of Ikuta police station in Hyogo Prefecture. Ishioka tells Nakata that he wants to see his sister soon and that Nakata will be able to meet her in Tokyo because Nakata has another big job waiting for him. Ishioka asks Nakata why he is being so kind to her when he had always said he would avenge his brother, and he says that he is not a killer. He is a police officer and it is natural for him to be kind. He pretended to be a lazy and irresponsible person so that no one would notice that he was a police officer. Ishioka and Kikuayo are on a train to Tokyo. Kikuayo must be feeling relieved that she can see again. Kikuayo walks around the carriages saying that she thinks Nakata is on this train. Kikuayo's hunch is correct. Nakata spots Kikuayo coming from the opposite direction and is shocked. Kikuayo stops when she comes in front of the young Nakata. She thinks that this person might be Nakata. However, when they are alone, Kikuayo doesn't know that Nakata is Nakata unless someone tells her that he is. Nakata decides to meet her soon and confess that he likes Kikuayo. It's only a matter of time. Maybe when the three of them get off at Tokyo Station and Ishioka says that this is Nakata, we'll see Kikuayo's face bursting with joy and tears. It was a great action movie. It's a good match with Ishihara Yujiro. If you are interested in Akaggi Keiichiro's movies, please watch this movie and The Foghorn is Calling Me.